Welcome to Rosewater.
Ordered the 743 from Pierre Lorraine for Rosewater, Western Vespuccia. No baggage to speak of, in the literal or metaphorical sense. Just a little hope. And that doesn't take up much space.
Starring Maya Murphy as Harley Legger. Thought I turned the volume down enough? I did not. Also starring Gavin Hammond, Matt Yang King, Christian Lands, G.K. Bowes, Leilani Jones
Much has
Walker?
been said about the western frontier. The perilous wilderness, the lawless towns, and the tough, hardened folk who make their way out there. Usually to get away from something worse. I suppose I'm about to become one of them myself. There's just one thing Rosewater's got that no place else has. An opportunity with my name on it.
Programming art and animation by Francisco Gonzalez. Composer Mark Bennis. Story and writing Francisco Gonzalez and Jess Haskins.
The thoughts in my head are running together like the landscape outside the window. Excitement and trepidation and boredom mixing like the scrub and rocks and soil into one long blur.
Script editing Jess Haskins.
One thing I know, I am ready for a change of scene.
A game by Francisco Gonzalez. Western Vespuccia. The town of Rosewater. 1850.
Huh. Quiet.
Howdy, ma'am. Allow me to extend the warmest of welcomes on behalf of the town of Rosewater and its inhabitants. Folks call me Jim. And who do I have the honor of greeting?
Harley Legere.
Delighted to make your acquaintance. Might I assist you with your luggage? That is, if you've got any.
I don't.
Ah, right. Well, what brings you to our fair town, Mrs. Legere?
Here for a job?
Miss. And I'm here about a job.
Planning on sticking around, huh? Say, what line of work are you in?
If you must know, well, I write. There's an opening at the Rosewater Post.
Well, best of luck with that. The editor at that place ain't somebody you want to cross.
Then we ought to get along fine.
I'm sure you will. But as official town greeter, allow me to offer a small caution. Rosewater ain't always such a sleepy little town.
Hey!
Say, I've just remembered another engagement.
This how you welcome new arrivals? I have a mind to give you a thrashing. All right, enough of that. Look, I was no choir girl.
But I never got caught.
But I had the good sense not to get caught. Word of advice, kid. Don't pick your mark in broad daylight, especially not at a lawman's doorstep. Go on, beat it, or I really will give you something to cry about.
She's hardcore.
Now, where in the ether is that damn publisher's office?
Those were some brutal options. Alright, warded lock, no key for me, turn the hook freely. Padlocks, wiggle the key to start the fun, and take the snake for the long, long run. Deadbolts, tense the key and choose the snake, look round as you give it a shake. Tumbler locks, the key stays still, the diamond shines, turns up just once, then down 3 times. Is it teaching me how to pick locks? Chat? Is it teaching me how to pick locks? Aboard the WV Express, boarded the 743 from Pierre Lorraine for Rosewater, Western Vespuccia. No baggage to speak of in the literal or metaphorical. Okay, so this is what she said on the train. Dusty streets of Rosewater. People are the same everywhere. Rotten, grasping, and two-faced. I've passed not 10 minutes in this town and already it feels like home. A couple of street kids take advantage of the deserted thoroughfare to waylay and fleece new arrivals. Full in front of the sheriff's office, no less. A rascal by the name of Jem, self-styled town greeter, carries off a whole routine while his young confederate, none too skilled in technique, nor yet hardened to this way of life, clumsily attempts to relieve the mark of valuables. The mark on this regrettable occasion being me. The distractor made himself scarce, and I eventually shooed the pickpocket away with a stern warning. I wonder if I am too lenient. Perhaps it would have been a kindness to show the bumbling innocent just how wretched this path can be before he has traveled too far along it. I can't say a part of me didn't itch to. The old impulses are hard to resist. If some charitable soul had had the decency and consideration to black my eyes and break my bones at that tender age once and for all, frightening me back into the arms of virtue, what saner course might my life have followed?
So they do have the law here, in theory at least. End of the line. Until they connect it up from the coast, anyway.
Oh, wrong button.
Looks sturdy, but there's some rot creeping around the handles. Can't be a good sign when even the blacksmith goes out of business. No shoes for you, horsies. I hope that isn't the town water supply. Soft drink crates. A sugary, fizzy way to beat the heat. Nothing inside but a colony of ants. Shame. I could go for a sarsaparilla.
Aw, mood. Aw, mood.
The local sawbones. This is where all the sharp knives and strong drugs will be kept.
Oh, hello there. Don't think I've seen you around before.
Just arrived in town. Name's Harley Leger. And you're Dr. Sedgwick?
At your service. Welcome to Rosewater and to my clinic. Anything in particular ailing you today?
Nah, we're just looking around.
I'm really just making my way around town.
Fair enough.
Well, alrighty then. Hello, Bulldog. Oh,
I imagine you
sarsaparilla.
get your hands pretty dirty in this line of work?
It's for cleansing before, not after. I am a follower of the modern European theories, positing that disease follows from the propagation of tiny animalcules living on the surface of the skin. Thorough washing with soap and water is said to eradicate them.
Drown the little bastards, huh?
Something like that.
Sarsaparilla is not a modern age drink. That sarsaparilla has been around for a very long time.
Quite a variety of potions and tonics you've got here, Doc.
It's only a small part of the bounteous pharmacopoeia that nature might make available to us, if only we knew her secrets. There is so much to be discovered.
Hi, Cozy. We watched that trailer you sent me earlier. Witchbrook looks really good. Not me looking up when sarsaparilla
That's
started.
impressively clean.
Cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say, and good health starts with good hygiene.
Hey, Doc, is that mess of noodles really what our insides look like?
Indeed, Miss Leger. The human body truly is a marvel.
I suppose that's one word for it.
Let's see. Sarsaparilla. Oh wow, it really just doesn't want to say how long. Yeah, that's what I was being told, Cozy. A couple of the chat members were actually aware of that one. So that was cool to learn about.
This is the place.
Oh my. We could ignore him and enter the office. You alright?
Holy hell! Are you alright, mister?
I'll go get the doctor.
Don't you move. I'll fetch the doctor to have a look at you. Doc, come quick. I've got an emergency.
How can I be of service?
Some poor fool's just fallen out a window.
At the Rosewater Post?
Yes. How did you...
Sounds like Joni's in a mood again. Let's go.
Here he is, poor bastard.
Oh dear. Hello? Can you hear me? I'm Dr. Sedgwick. I'm here to help you. Can you move your legs? Spine seems intact, no obvious fractures of the arms or legs. That, I would say, is nothing short of a miracle. Right, he's in a bad way, but he'll live. I'll get him back to my clinic and patch him up. You are truly a good Samaritan, Miss Legere.
It was nothing. If you'll excuse me, I have an appointment to keep.
Of course. God bless.
Hello, can I help you with something?
I'm here about the writing commission.
Ah, yes, you must be Miss Legere. I believe you and Joni exchanged some correspondence on the matter already, yes?
Yep, got the letter right here.
May I see it, please?
Ooh, let's
October
read it.
25th, 1850. Dear Miss Legere, thank you for submitting your sample. Your writing shows real potential. I'd like to extend an invitation to meet with me at the offices of the Rosewater Post and discuss the possibility of an extended commission. How soon can you arrive in town? I await your reply and look forward to making your acquaintance. Yours, Joan Gallagher.
Very good. Oh, one more thing. Joni's not one for formalities. First names will do.
Noted.
Go up those stairs and knock.
Thanks. What's your name?
Henry Dixon, ma'am. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
Okay. Up we go and to knock.
Come in.
Hello, Joan. I'm Harley Legere.
Ah, yes. Nice to finally put a face to the name. Please take a load off. Whiskey?
Bit early for me, but thanks all the same.
Sensible. I like that. I, however, have had a morning, so if you don't mind. Say, have we met before? Something about you seems familiar.
I don't believe so, no.
Well, let's get down to the meat and potatoes, shall we? If you're going to join our little family here, I'd like to know more about you.
Well, give a succinct biography.
Me? Well, I was born and raised in New Britannia. Got out, made my way west, and started writing. I saw your ad while I was up in Pierre. Thought a change of scenery would do me good.
Well, admittedly, Rosewater isn't as cosmopolitan as it used to be, but maybe you'll find it to your liking.
There hasn't been a dull moment since I stepped off the train.
Speaking of, your writing sample had me in stitches. Haven't spent much time in Lamplight City myself, but your descriptions of the toughs in Lyon, hilarious.
That piece was inspired by my last visit a few years ago, actually.
Oh? What brought that about?
We'll be honest, no reason to lie, yet.
I had to go back and settle my late brother's affairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't in connection with that awful business at the Lamplight City Expo.
Oh, no, it was before that.
The Expo disaster was a national tragedy, of course. But you know, can't help remembering it as the week our paper sold more copies than it has before or since. Isn't that terrible? But enough about that. Let's get back to why we're here. I loved your sample, and I like you as well, Harley. So I'm going to go ahead and offer you a commission. I'll pay you 45 crowns for it. After that, we can talk about more regular opportunities.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. So, what's my assignment? A scathing commentary on Rosewater's decline? Or maybe a hard-hitting expose on the plight of the marginalized criminal youth?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I want you to interview Gentleman Jake Ackerman.
Who?
Oh, the other one. You've been living under a rock. He's a true Western legend. The Achilles of our times. We've got a real opportunity here. A star like that landing in our little town. I'd like something in the vein of your sample. Acerbic and mordant. But maybe not quite so acerbic.
So, a puff piece.
Good, you're paying attention. I want you to make Rosewater look good too. Show me a real frontier hero in a real frontier town.
Where can I find this Jake fellow?
He's taken rooms at the Jack of Diamonds just down the road. And his show is opening today at the Opera House. So he should be around for an interview. I don't know how you're situated here, but you're welcome to use the typewriter in the office.
I only write longhand, but I'd certainly be grateful for a quiet place to work.
Longhand. How charming. Now, if you have any questions before you go, by all means, ask.
So, who was the man that went out your window?
So, who was the man that went out your window? Not another writer, I hope.
Oh, God, no. You're the only applicant we've had. Don't worry about him. Just a rabble-rouser with an axe to grind. Thought he could burst in here railing about my journalistic integrity. Most folks stick to writing letters to the editor. I tried to calm him down, but... well, it didn't go that way.
I see.
Oh, so you all covered the Lamplight City Expo?
The Rosewater Post reported on the Lamplight City Expo?
It was only the biggest story that year. I still got copies of the article saved. Here, read it for yourself.
Disaster at the Lamplight City Expo. The etheric pavilion at the Global Exposition in New Britannia, Kingsland, was the site of a terrifying disaster that claimed 15 lives on Saturday. During a demonstration by etheric researcher Dr. Bennett Clark, a device known as an etheric generator malfunctioned and released a burst of energy into the audience, instantly vaporizing 14 attendees and one stage assistant. An eyewitness described the scene for the New Britannia Gazette. The thing started up with a great crackling noise, startling the ladies in attendance and raising several cries of excitement. In the next instant, there was a blinding flash of light. After that, it was just screams and a horrible burning smell. From where I stood, I could see that a bunch of folks gathered to one side of the apparatus were just gone. All that were left were shoes and hats and things in a pile of ash. And the worst thing was, their shadows were still there on the wall behind. Yikes. A controversial figure in the scientific community, Dr. Clark has championed novel theories upon the existence of aethericity, a supposedly inexhaustible source of energy located in the upper atmosphere. The Etheric Pavilion, an exhibit jointly sponsored by Kessling Industries, Harman and Grove, and Eastern Consolidated Coal, was intended to showcase the technology's potential before a global audience, although public enthusiasm may be somewhat dampened following the events of last weekend. Dr. Clark was taken in for questioning by authorities, but it remains to be seen whether he or any of his sponsors will be held legally responsible for the lives lost to the accident. Scene of the etheric horror. PM calls for etheric ban. Prime Minister Hart Leroy wasted no time in condemning the Lamplight City Expo disaster and called on Parliament to impose a ban on etheric research. Despite predictable opposition from the Atwood wing, MPs may be more receptive to Leroy's proposal in the wake of the disaster. A vote is expected to be called in the coming weeks. Supporters of Clark's research insist that an isolated incident does not invalidate the potential benefits of etheric technology, but public opinion may be tipping in favor of the ban. Yeah, like this is suddenly starting to feel more steampunk. Wait, no, that's not even right, because steampunk isn't magic. I don't know what the right term is for magic westerns. Oh, also, it's, this was, 1847, so this is 3 years prior to the events of the game. Because we're currently in 1850. Gilroy mine to close. Silas Gilroy announced on Friday that his Orem mine would cease operations at the end of the month. This marks the third major mine closure in the past year, in addition to many smaller claims that have been consolidated and sold cheaply or abandoned. Like every other prospector who hauled out here, I was hopeful after early results were so strong, but those deeper mines have failed to turn up, said Mr. Gilroy. It's all sparkle and no show. The mine's closure will deal yet another blow to Rosewater's fortune, leaving over 40 men out of work.
Can I keep this?
Frame it if you like.
So, what can you tell me about Rosewater?
Any insight you can give me about the town?
It's a far cry from what it used to be. In a way, it's nice not having to hear the noise from the saloon at all hours, but... oh, I don't know. Folk who moved on took some of the charm with them.
Well, how about the townspeople?
What about the folks who stayed behind?
What about him?
Can you tell me? It sounds like a pretty stalwart bunch.
They must be pretty stalwart to stick around when others didn't.
Or stubborn. Go on and meet him for yourself. Best draw your own conclusions.
So, how'd you start the paper?
I'm curious, how did the Rosewater Post get its start?
Well, my dad was a union man. He worked the printing press for the Allied Fall Creek Miners Cooperative. Pamphlets, labour news, that sort of thing. Then the mine owners brought the Blackburns in to bust the whole operation up. My dad was laid up for months and could never work again after. But we still had to eat, didn't we? I took all the equipment from the old shop and started printing up an early version of the Post just to bring a little money in. At first, it was all just community notices and advertisements from local stores. Over time, I got the hang of the whole journalism thing and turned it into a real newspaper.
Nice. All right, well,
I'd
we'll
best
be
be
on
on
our
my way.
Right, you are.
Like,
Wait a minute.
What?
It's just come to me. I know why you look familiar. You're Spitfire Harley.
Goodness. It's been a long time since anyone called me that.
I saw you fighting back in 26 at Wellesley Hall in the Chum. You took out a brute twice your size with a right hook. Pow! It was like watching David bring down Goliath.
I appreciate the kind words, but that was another life.
Maybe so, but for a 14-year-old kid fresh off the boat, it was pretty damn inspirational.
Thanks, Joan. Appreciate it.
Of course. And please call me Joni.
interesting. The offices of the Rosewater Post. This town does not lack for liveliness. I was at the point of presenting myself at the offices of the Rosewater Post when I was nearly flattened by a new Spanish fellow being hurled out of the second-story window into the street below. No way to tell if the man was victim or villain, but he was hardly in a condition to cause further trouble either way. I fetched the local sawbones to see to him. The defenestrator turned out to be none other than my prospective employer, editor-in-chief, Joan Gallagher, who takes no guff, stands on no formalities, and asks to be called Joni. Seems the man was some disgruntled reader taking issue with the latest issue, so Joni issued him out the window. The interview then proceeded as though nothing was amiss and no hot breeze could be felt gusting through the jagged glass. I gave a brief account of myself, but it seems my writing sample itself was credit enough. I found Joni a very amiable fellow, and I don't say that about just anyone who gushes over my scribblings and offers me good paying work and a shot at a whole new kind of life. But you could have knocked me down with a feather when Joni pointed at me, right straight into my soul, and called me a name I haven't heard in a long, long time. Spitfire Haley. Spitfire Harley. It must have been 15 years since I boxed under that moniker back in the Chum, but believe it or not, Joni was there to see it and moreover remembered me. I suppose I made an impression somehow, and not only in some poor bastard's face with my fists. But I got what I came here for. The arrangement is not yet permanent, but I have my first assignment. I'm to conduct an interview with an entertainer called Gentleman Jake, or Jake Ackerman, who is performing locally and write an article showing him and the town in a flattering light. A puff piece, to put it plain. The show's at the Opera House, and he's to be found in the Jack of Diamonds saloon. Though this town is small enough I could, like as not, stand in the crossroads and yell Jake and find him in earshot no matter his address. These are not exactly the literary endeavors I envisioned, but it is an actual job for actual money, so I will swallow my pride, lick my pen, and puff for all I'm worth, which is about 45 crowns, it would seem.
You support Leroy?
I'm a proud Labourite, sure. I'll admit he hasn't been my favourite PM. But the way things were going with Atwood and the Traitus, this place would have been swallowed up by an automated newspaper conglomerate. Labour Party gets me vote any day of the week.
Fair enough. The New Britannia Gazette. Keeping tabs on the competition?
Hardly. I kept that issue because they mentioned my paper.
Is this the first edition of the Rosewater Post?
Yep, March 30th, 1845. One of the best days of my life.
I hope fixing that window won't be too expensive.
I may just leave it for a while. I'm enjoying the breeze.
Yeah, alright.
Fascinating device.
Isn't it just? To think, I can send messages from here to Bright Bay with the press of a lever.
What will they think of next? Hey, that's Devil's Tooth. I passed it on the train right here.
Quite a sight, hasn't it?
Nice typewriter.
A first. Good old Sheldon Model 4.
Alright, well.
See you later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there. Spitfire Harley, writing for my paper. Now don't that just beat all?
Impressive piece of machinery. They seem to be pretty active around here. I hope that means steady work. Excuse me?
How can I be of assistance?
What can you tell me about Rosewater?
What's to know about this town?
You picked a fine time to arrive, Miss Leger.
Why is that?
A few years back, you could hardly drive a wagon through the street. It was so full of folk coming and going. I'm sure you've noticed that's no longer the case.
What happened to everybody?
So where did everyone go?
Wherever the Orem actually is would be my guess. There's still some prospectors hanging on, convinced they'll find something everyone else missed. I'm sure they'll all come to their senses eventually.
If they all go, where will that leave you?
Why, getting by, I imagine. Peaceful, quiet life. The railroad still brings some traffic. Folks on their way further west or shipping goods back east. Although not as many as before the transcontinental airship line opened up. Easier to sail clear over the country than ride the rails halfway. Suits me fine, though.
How long have you been working here?
Been working here long, Mr. Dixon?
Oh, about 5 years. I was the first one Joni hired on shortly after launching the paper. Was a farmhand before that. Keeping books is much nicer than tending cow pens, let me tell you.
What can you tell me about the townsfolk?
Anything I should know about the townsfolk?
Can't really help you there. I'm just a simple family man, and we keep to ourselves.
So who was the man who fell out the window?
Exactly who was that gentleman just took a tumble out your second-story window?
I haven't a clue. Devil of a fellow. Just busted in here and went straight for Joni's office. He wouldn't be put off, but insisted on speaking with the editor immediately. Said he intended to lodge a complaint. Suppose Joni didn't take too kindly to his manner of lodging.
You got some impressive facial hair.
Those are some mighty fine whiskers you've got.
Oh, why, thank you, Miss Leger. The missus tells me I ought to shave, but I'm fond of the look.
As you should be. I'll leave you to your work.
Appreciate it, ma'am.
That cabinet's better organized than I'll ever be.
I'm gonna guess that's what Henry
Cozy.
works to do, is to keep that. That is an old-timey term for a beard, yeah. Is whiskers.
Was your meeting satisfactory, ma'am?
Quite so. Did you find any of those butterscotch sweets I asked for?
Afraid not. Only taffy and some peppermints.
Pity. This place seems to lack even the smallest of pleasures. Shall we?
Intriguing.
Business seems slow today. Probably a good thing. Business seems slow today. Probably a good thing. Shabby, but I've been to worse. Horse pills? Is that pills for horses or pills made from horses? Or both? Wonder if the whiskey here is any better than the rot gut back in Pierre. Looks like it's been up for ages. Wonder if they ever caught the guy. Or maybe he retired from crime. Or died of old age. These seem to be for decoration more than anything else. Food delivery for the lazy. Warning, watch the dang door. Signed, management. The local populace getting sloshed. Excuse me, kid, I need to get upstairs.
I'm really sorry, miss, but Mr. Ackerman's not taking any more meetings right now.
I'm from the Post.
I'm here on behalf of the Rosewater Post.
Did you make an appointment?
No, I just got the assignment.
Okay, look, Mr. Ackerman's upstairs getting ready for his show. It starts in less than an hour. Why don't you come by and watch? You can come meet him afterwards.
I just need to interview him for a newspaper article.
Well now, that's perfect. If you're going to write about him, you should definitely see the show. Trust me, he's a real dazzler.
Suppose it beats waiting around here.
Okay, so I need to go to the opera
Gentleman
house.
Jake's show will be starting at the theater soon. You won't want to miss a second of it.
Somehow it feels like this is going to go, like, somehow I get the feeling this guy's show is not going off without a hitch.
For 20 coppers, it had better be one hell of a show.
I only have 20 coppers.
Never heard of this one.
Oh wait, no, I have
Betrayal,
crowns.
murder, revenge. Classic stuff. Never works out that way in real life.
What are you doing here?
You again?
Oh, hey, Harmony, was it?
Harley. What in the ether are you doing here?
Oh, you're not still sore about earlier.
I think I taught your friend a lesson.
Nah. But your little friend might think twice about hoodwinking strangers again.
Look, nothing personal. My brother and me are just doing our best to get by.
You just walked away when your brother got caught?
Your brother? And you just strolled away? I ought to knock you into a cocked hat.
Hey, you gotta look out for number one.
You picked the wrong mark, but I can let that go. Hell, with a little effort, you two could be halfway decent crifters. But if there's one thing turns my stomach, it's disloyalty. That's your flesh and blood. If you don't have your own brothers back, who else on this wretched earth is going to give a flip if you're alive or dead?
You made your point. Now can we drop it already? I'm trying to do an actual legitimate job here.
What job?
Legitimate job? So you're not selling snake oil or stock tips or fire insurance?
Nah, nothing like that. I'm selling tickets to Gentleman Jake's legendary Wild West show. Only 20 coppers.
I'll be back later.
Wait here. I'll be back.
I look forward to it.
I don't trust him. I don't trust him, Chet.
Dr. Bennett Clark, Master of Ethericity. Oh, right, the Ethericity fellow. I didn't know he was working out here. Dr. Bennett Clark, Master of Ethericity. Oh, right, the Ethericity fellow. I didn't know he was working out here.
Wait a minute. You can't just go in there without a ticket.
Do we trust that
Wait
he's
here.
actually
I'll be back.
selling tickets?
I look forward to it.
I'm gonna knock.
Wait a minute. You can't just go
Okay.
in there without a ticket.
I'll take one of those tickets.
Swell. And when would you like to come see the show?
Whenever it starts?
Oh, you mean today? Ah, well, I'm afraid I gotta disappoint you there. Sold the last of today's tickets not 10 minutes before you walked up.
Seriously?
Seriously, this ain't exactly the Coliseum. It only fits so many, and folks around here are real excited to see Gentleman Jake in person.
I just need to talk to him.
All right, look. I don't need to see some yahoo firing off his pea shooter. I just want to talk to this Jake fellow.
And I'm sure Gentleman Jake would be happy to meet you if you had a ticket to get in. Course, I might be able to sneak you in quiet-like, but I'd be putting my job on the line, and I can't afford to lose it now. After all, I have my little brother to look after.
Just tell me what you want.
Only a small favor.
Spit it out.
Just help me retrieve something. A small item of great personal value. It's only my pa's pocket watch. Family heirloom, you see.
What happened to it?
It was stolen is what? By that one-eyed scalawag Lola Johnson. Probably stashed it away in the old smithy. She's been squatting in there for weeks now.
We could offer him a bribe. Where's your brother?
Where'd your brother get to? Keeping out of trouble?
Matter of fact, he's trying to make good after that screw-up earlier. Decided he's gonna try and get Pa's watch back all by himself. He's real tore up over losing it.
It's a terrible idea.
And you're letting him risk his neck again? He'll be collared in no time. Like as not, you'll never see him again.
Oh, I know. I tried talking sense into him, but he's dead set on it. Wants to prove himself. But he'll be in real hot water if he gets caught, which he probably will. That's why I'm asking you to do it before he goes and does something stupid. I can tell you could pull it off. No problem.
Only to keep your kid brother out of trouble.
That kid deserves better than getting strung up for doing your dirty work. Call him off. I'll handle it.
Swell. You know where to find me.
God damn it. Outside Rosewater Opera House, his brother. That jelly-fingered babe was no random tag-along, but Jem's brother. His own blood, and the cretin just ditched him the instant things got dicey. That level of meanness I can't comprehend. You have to look out for your little brother. You keep him safe, whatever it takes. Somehow, I've stooped to the level of errand runner for this moral pustule of a person. Since our last encounter, he's undergone a rapid career ascent from town greeter to ticket taker, and now commands access to the one place I crave entry, the Opera House, where Gentleman Jake is soon to delight a sold-out audience, whose number I am determined to join. For the favor of admittance, I have reluctantly agreed to undertake a matter of late burglary on Jem's behalf. He implores me to recover from the one-eyed scalawag Lola Johnson, evidently a drifter or transient of some persuasion, a stolen pocket watch once belonging to the boy's father and secreted somewhere in the abandoned smithy she's occupying. He let it slip that if I refused the deed, the little brother would attempt it himself in hopes of making good his earlier blunder. A cockamamie notion that surely would land the hapless child in the clink, or worse. Soft touch that I am, I caved, if only for the boy's sake.
This padlock's not going anywhere. Not without encouragement. Too bad I didn't bring my lockpicks. Or a hammer.
Okay.
Howdy, stranger. Fresh off the train?
Yes, sir.
Come on in then. Let's have a chat. I'm Sheriff Gamble.
Harley Legere.
Pleasure. Just passing through, or?
I'm here about a job.
Well now, that's refreshing. Few come to Rosewater these days with the intent of staying long. How are you finding our town?
Nice, very picturesque.
Oh, it's great. Real pretty.
Glad you think so. Most folks take one look around and get right on the next train back. But I can see you have some real grit. I doubt the dust and the flies will put you off. Anyhow, welcome to Rosewater. You run into any trouble, you come and see me.
I wouldn't have figured the sheriff for a naturalist. A lawman with a license? Guess Rosewater isn't so uncivilized after all. Reminder, confiscated items to be placed in the box below. A plain leather bag. Wonder what's inside. Looks like a pretty rough sort.
It's meant to look at, not ask about, but...
Hey, Sheriff?
Ma'am?
Who are the people in this photo?
Those are my sisters, Lord bless them. Sadie died a few months after this picture was taken. I'm grateful to have this to remind me of her smile. Mary was always my favorite. The trouble we used to get into when we was kids. Reba married an oil man. I think they're living in some big mansion on the coast somewhere.
Hello, Iso's pocket.
Those are some stern-looking ladies. Not a bad view. Doesn't look too comfy, but I guess that's the point. What's in the bag?
Oh, that's a set of lockpicks I confiscated from a would-be burglar.
You don't say.
This fellow's still at large?
Yep, but I reckon he's left the province.
Impressive collection.
Somehow, I have to get him out of here so I can get
Hey,
those
Sheriff?
lockpicks.
What can I do you for?
How long have you been sheriff here?
Just how long have you been the sheriff here anyway?
Oh, a couple years now. Like most everyone else, I came to Rosewater in '48 when we thought the hills were full of Orem. Except I stayed when it turned out they weren't.
You were a prospector?
Yep, but it turns out lawman was a more stable career.
Tell me about Rosewater.
A man in your position must have plenty to say about the town he serves.
Suppose that's true, but a stroll down Main will tell you most everything you need to know.
So what about the townsfolk? What's up with Jim?
That little weasel Jem is a real piece of work. What's his deal?
Did he cause you any trouble?
Nah, just tried putting on airs with his town greeter routine. But he was on his way once I let him know I wasn't having any of it.
That boy. He ain't a bad kid, just been dealt a bad hand. I've tried setting him straight, but his head's harder than granite. Maybe it's time I set my foot down. Show him the inside of himself for a while.
Trust me, that'll only make things worse. Perhaps rather than tossing away the bad apple, you might look in the barrel and figure out what made it rot.
Say, you ain't one of those social reformer types, are you?
Let's just say I've seen my share of cruddy barrels.
What about Joan?
Can you tell me about Joan Gallagher?
Whew, I've yet to meet anyone with a more fiery temper. My advice is to stay on Joni's good side.
Doc Sedgwick?
Is Doc Sedgwick on the up and up, or is he one of those frontier quacks?
Oh no, Doc Sedgwick's tried and true. Well, he saved the town from a yellow fever epidemic just last year. The doc's pretty much the glue holding this town together. Leastways, that's what he's fond of telling everybody.
And Gentleman Jake?
What's the story with Gentleman Jake?
Which one? If even half of them are true, he's a lion among men, a real Western hero. But you can catch his show while he's in town and hear it straight from the source.
What do you know about Lola Johnson?
Are you acquainted with Lola Johnson?
Not really. She mostly keeps to herself. As long as she don't cause trouble, I'm willing to overlook the squatting.
Who's the fancy older lady?
I saw a lady coming out of the saloon earlier. She was older, fancy looking, sounded old country. Any idea who that is?
Can't say it rings any bells. Wonder what someone like that'd be doing in Rosewater.
Hi, Dreamy. So, what else is there to do around here?
Anything of interest in the surrounding area?
Not really. The San Bernardino Valley don't offer much in the way of sightseeing. There's an army fort, Fort Beaumont, and an abandoned relic that used to be a laboratory. There's also an Indian village on the other side of the valley. But you'll want to steer clear. I've heard tell they can be real territorial. But all that's outside my jurisdiction. When you leave my town, you're taking your chances out there.
So, did you hear about the guy who got thrown out a window?
Were you aware that a man was thrown from the window at the Rosewater Post?
Is that right? Who was it?
Never saw him before. Looked New Spanish.
Is he alive?
Yes, he's in Doc Sedgwick's care.
Well, that's good. Sounds like I need to have words with Joni, though.
Thanks for the chat, Sheriff.
Come back anytime.
Ah, damn, he didn't leave for that.
Does this license mean you went to sheriff's school?
No, it means I was officially elected to the position by the people of this town. The paper is really just a formality.
Fancy yourself a lepidopterist?
Ha! Hardly. Picked that display up from a passing rag and bone man. But I like when the sun shines on their wings just so. Real thing of beauty.
Okay, somehow I have to get the sheriff out of here
What
so I
a
can get
peculiar
those
decoration.
lockpicks. Maybe if we talk to the doctor?
I hope that isn't the town water supply. Nothing inside but a colony of ants. Shame. I could go for a sarsaparilla.
Hello again.
He doesn't look half bad, all things considered.
No, he was lucky. Once I'm done here and the laudanum wears off, he should be right as rain.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, I wouldn't try talking to him just now, Miss Leger. I gave him a mild narcotic to numb the pain. He'll be out of sorts for a while.
Hey, Doc.
Miss Leger.
Got any knowledge to impart about Rosewater?
Oh, well, it's a fine town.
You don't sound too enthused.
I'm sure you'll find plenty to see and do here.
Give it to me straight, Doc. I want to know your thoughts on this place. Warts and all.
Were Rosewater one of my patients, I would say the prognosis is not good. Not since all the Aurum claims dried up and the airship routes opened, leapfrogging over our rail line. The hangers-on keep this place gasping for breath, but I fear they only prolong the inevitable. I hope I haven't discouraged you, but you did ask my opinion.
How come you don't go anywhere else?
If things are so bad, why not pick up and move elsewhere?
I swore an oath to do no harm, Miss Leger. As the town's only physician, leaving would mean abandoning my patients. There may not be many left to call on my services, but when they do, I am the only barrier standing between them and the grave.
Isn't that a bit dramatic, Doc?
Say what you will. I know where I stand on the matter.
People who are hanging on past the point of no return, sort of thing. for hangers-on. Yeah, literally hangers-on, yeah.
I'll see you later, Doc.
Do take care of yourself.
Somehow I have to get my hands on those lockpicks, which means getting the sheriff out of...
Business seems slow today. Probably a good thing. Food delivery for the lazy. Now that is mighty tempting. The local populace getting sloshed. Someone's hunting trophy. Scenes from the wild country. A night campfire, a wild horse, and a bear in the mountains. Sure would be something to see all that up close and personal. Except maybe the bear.
Gentleman Jake's show will be starting at the theater soon. You won't want to miss a second of it.
Can't react to it fast enough.
Food delivery for the lazy.
And I don't have anything to stick in that right now. So that's gonna matter. I know that's gonna matter. I just have to...
If I use my bare hands, the only thing I'll get is a broken wrist. But if I use something heavy...
Welcome back, Miss Legere.
Does this cell see much use?
Nah, not really. Well, that's fine by me. The less I have to clean out that pot, the better.
Hey, Sheriff?
Yes, ma'am?
What's this photo of?
That's a view of Colchester, where I grew up. All things considered, I still do miss the place.
He'll notice they're missing.
The winters were so cold, people's sentences would hang in the air for days. Sometimes I find myself wondering what life would be like if I'd stayed.
Hey, Sheriff?
Ma'am?
What's the story with these guns?
Now these are standard issue repeaters. Pretty powerful rifles. Thankfully, I've yet to use one in the line of duty. Wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one of these.
Hey, Sheriff?
Yes, ma'am?
Why have you got a horseshoe hanging above the door?
Ah, glad you asked. My grandpappy told me a story about a blacksmith who was visited by the devil. The devil asked the smith to make him a horseshoe for his own hoofed feet, you see. So, the blacksmith took a red-hot horseshoe and nailed it straight onto one of his hooves. The devil howled out in pain. He begged the blacksmith to take it off again. The smith agreed, but on one condition. The devil must always respect the horseshoe and never enter any place where one is hung above the door. Hell of a story, wouldn't you say?
Reminder, confiscated items to be placed in the box below.
Okay, but he'll notice if we take it. And I don't have anything to replace it with.
Good to see you again.
What do you need?
I'd best be on my way.
Right you are.
Okay, so she's not the answer.
That's quite a stick.
A memento from my grandfather back in County Donegal. Comes in handy now and again.
See you later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there.
Is there something in Sedgwick's place that I can...
Hello again.
What's in the pouch?
Oh, just some supplies for house calls and emergencies.
Real sorry about this, Doc.
Welcome back, Miss Leger.
Hey, Sheriff?
Yes, ma'am?
What was it you said about this photo?
That's a view of Colchester, where I grew up.
We're doing our best, HPG.
It ain't exactly a metropolis, but it's got character.
He'll notice they're missing.
The winters were so cold, people's sentences would hang in the air for days.
Got him.
Okay, now. So 2 padlocks. Wiggle the key to start the fun, then take the snake for a long, long run. Wiggle the key to start the fun, then take the snake for a long, long run. I feel bad that we had to steal from the doctor to do this.
This should be easy to pick. Just have to remember that rhyme I taught Bill. Good thing I wrote it down in my journal.
Wiggle the key to start the fun, and take the snake for the long, long run.
A snake pick. Best type for getting the job done quickly. I should have this open in no time. It's just like the rhyme. Learned it by heart as a tyke and scribbled it down for posterity.
Oh, wait.
The tension key. Don't pick locks without it.
Wiggle the key. Then take the snake for a long, long run.
Fantastic.
Okay.
That could be a good spot to stash something. Emptier than that fool Jem's head. Maybe the kid's watch is in there. Absolutely nothing. The smithy's cold furnace. No watch, just old ash. Did the blacksmith dabble as a Wainwright? Guess the devil won't be coming in here. Guess the devil won't be coming in here.
Well, we did have to, open the lock, and we did have to steal the lock picks.
The mirror's broken. Wonder who caught the bad luck. Doesn't look too comfortable. Nothing here. Seems the obvious place to keep valuables. Well now, what have we here? Got what I came for. Best not to stick around.
Outside the abandoned smithy, breaking into the smithy and locating the article was a trivial matter. In and out and no one the wiser. What a hassle. This had better be one hell of a show.
Here's your watch back.
No fooling. You actually got it?
They didn't used to call me Housebreaker Harley for nothing.
Hey, I'm impressed.
Anyways, that's my part of the bargain held up. You gonna let me in now?
Sure, go on. Oh, and thanks. I know we've had our tiffs, but I really do appreciate you getting this for me. My dear departed pa can rest easy again knowing his watch is back where it belongs.
That's not your watch at all, is it?
Well, it is now.
Kid,
God damn it.
if I were you, I'd make myself scarce. Otherwise, the only way you'll be able to tell the time on that thing is by squatting over a mirror. You get me?
Yes, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, are you ready for some thrills? Are you ready for some excitement? Are you ready for some fun? Then without further ado, now present the star of our show, the last man standing at the Bleachbone Gulch Showdown. The only man to defeat bastard Billy Boakes in a duel. The man who discovered a gentleman, then gifted it to an orphanage. Gentleman Jake Ackerman!
Thank you, Charlie, for that wonderful introduction.
Hello, Apollo.
everybody. Welcome to Gentleman Jake's Wild West. We got a heck of a performance for you today, but first, allow me to introduce my brave and loyal assistant, Danny Luo. Now let's get this show on the road. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you rope a steer. Keep it going, Danny. Maybe you'll lasso yourself one someday.
The sun beat down upon them as the duelists stood and stared. But Billy Boakes had never fought somebody so prepared. Jake drew his gun, and bang! The bastard crashed down with a thud. The legendary foe lay dead, defeated, in the mud.
And now for a most challenging proposition, perhaps the greatest feat of marksmanship to which a man can set his sights. You see those 5 juggling balls that Charlie keeps whirling aloft in such a dizzying display? Ladies and gentlemen, fix your eyes on that green ball in particular, and do not dare blink. For with but a single bullet, I will pluck it from the very air. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. Thank you all so much. You've been a truly magnanimous, magnificent, and majestic audience.
And you can take home a piece of the legend. Come on down to the Check of Diamonds to get an autograph or a souvenir ferrotype. We'll be there until last call. Stop by and shake hands with Gentleman Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night.
I'm telling you, Jake, I need that money tonight.
You knew the deal going in, Charlie. There's nothing I can do about it.
We'll see about that.
Hope I'm not interrupting, gentlemen.
My friend here was just saying his farewells. Weren't you, Charlie? Please do pardon that unpleasant display. What can I do for you, my dear?
Name's Harley Leger. I'd like to interview you for the Rosewater Post.
Well, shucks, it would be my pleasure, Miss Leger. Shall we go upstairs to my room? Beats standing out here in the dust.
Lead on.
Miss Leger, permit me to introduce my associate, Danny Luo.
We've met, actually. Not formally, I suppose. Nice to properly make your acquaintance, Miss Leger.
Likewise,
Welcome back,
Mr. Luo.
ISO.
Please, you can call me Danny. Everybody does.
So what did you think of the show? Pretty spectacular, huh?
Spectacular.
Sure.
It was amazing.
Well, shucks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Shall we proceed with the interview?
Right.
So, what brings your show to Rosewater?
How did you come to pick Rosewater as your latest venue?
Simple. Plenty of folk in this town are looking for a good show. I ain't so hoity-toity as to think El Presidio or Los Virgenes are the only places worth visiting. After spending all day bent double over a pan in a creek or working his keister off down in a mine, a man is entitled to some amusement, wouldn't you say?
So, what would you say is your greatest accomplishment?
You're clearly a man of great deeds. Which would you say has been your greatest?
I value all my accomplishments equally, Miss Leger. To single any one out would diminish the others. I couldn't bring myself to do that.
What a noble sentiment.
I like to think so.
Well, is there anything that scares you?
Is there anything that frightens the mighty gentleman Jake?
You know, somebody once told me, fear is only as deep as the mind allows.
Rest well, Rezo.
When you deal with the type of folks out on the frontier that I do, marauders, bandits, desperados, your fears have got to be shallow. Otherwise, you won't last 2 seconds.
So, what would people be surprised to learn about you?
What's something nobody knows about you? Give me something juicy.
I'm something of an open book, Miss Leger. Keeping secrets ain't really my modus operandi.
Come on, everyone's got secrets.
Oh, I think you'll find I'm not like most folk.
Hey, Jake, don't you have an appointment with Miss Sally this evening?
Damn, you're right. Sorry to cut things short, Miss Leger. I've got another engagement I need to prepare for.
I should have plenty for my article. I appreciate your time.
Well, I look forward to reading your story in the next edition. Danny, see the lady out, would you?
Good meeting you, Danny. Guess I'll see you around. Not to worry, gents. Jake's all yours. Hey, you were in the show. Nice juggling.
Thank you, ma'am. Jake, get your ass out here right now, you four-flusher.
Now, what's all the ruckus?
Don't play the fool with me, Ackerman. You know damn well why I'm here. You might think you can give me the runaround, but I wonder if my friends here won't convince you to pay up.
Charlie. Didn't anybody ever tell you only cowards get others to solve their problems for them?
You slum-guzzling bastard. I'm gonna fix that wobbling jaw of yours.
Come on up here, then.
You sure you won't reconsider, Charlie?
Shut the hell up and get out of my way. McGuire, take care of the kid.
Hello, Miguel.
Ribbit, motherfucker, I'm a goddamn frog.
I suggest you clear out while you can, little lady. This could get ugly.
From where I'm standing, it's pretty damn ugly already. Hey!
So that's how you want it, huh? Fine. I'll let the boss deal with you when he's done.
Alright.
We can do this all day.
Alright, well, fuck you then.
Knock
his block off. Hey, don't start any trouble, lady.
You don't want me to start
Give
any
him a
trouble?
new face.
Hey, pick on someone your own size. Nice dodge! Nice dodge!
Go on, get him.
You're in my way, you lummox.
And that's where I'm staying. Oh, no, you're not getting away that easy.
No, gonna keep that up. Alright,
We can do this all day. Give him a new face.
Watch that left jab. 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 Nice dodge. Watch that left jab.
Give him a new face.
Nice dodge. Food delivery for the lazy.
Come on, McGuire.
That's not going to help the situation.
Give him a new face.
That's not going to help the situation.
Hey, don't start any trouble, lady.
I've seen pregnant cows more graceful than you. I've seen pregnant cows more graceful than you.
I'm not sure what I'm
Watch that
supposed
left
to
jab.
be doing, chat.
Watch that left jab. Get him. Get him. Watch that left jab. Watch that left jab. Watch that left jab.
Give him a new face.
Ooh.
Hey, don't start any trouble, lady.
Oh, good call on that one.
Whoopsie daisy.
Hey, nice one.
Not the most honorable way of winning a fight, but these boys were hardly playing fair.
Hey, Charlie. Looks like your guys weren't as tough as you hoped.
Whoo-wee! That got the old blood pumping.
You've got some interesting associates, Mr. Ackerman. If you'll excuse me, I have an article to write.
Hang on just a minute. I'd be a fool to just let you walk away after that performance. Come on back up here. I've got a business proposition that may interest you.
What about Miss Sally?
Oh, she can wait. All right, Miss Legere, I won't beat around the bush. Danny and I are looking to get some folks together for a job, and I think you'd make a damn fine addition to the team.
What sort of job?
Ever hear of Dr. Bennett Clark?
Yeah.
Of course. The etheric researcher. What about him?
Dr. Clark moved out here not long after the big disaster back in Lamplight City. He kept up his research, even did some demonstrations at the Opera House. Till one day, he just up and vanished. Nobody's seen hide nor hair of him in nearly a year.
So you want to find him?
And you want to go looking for him?
Oh, I want to go looking, all right. The thing is, we're going in search of Dr. Clark's fortune.
Come again?
The feller was loaded. Somehow he managed to talk a bunch of big money investors from back east into financing his research. All those gizmos and doodads don't come cheap, you know? We find his stash, we'll all be rolling in it for years to come.
Stash? What stash? Surely it's all just numbers on a ledger somewhere.
Nope, I'm telling you, he kept his assets in cold, hard cash.
So you're looking to rob a man blind just because nobody knows where he is?
Now, nothing so uncouth as that. Picture this. A swashbuckling pirate captain, his vessel freighted with treasure. The vast fleets of law and order circling him, closing in. He digs a hole in the sands of some sun-kissed tropical beach to conceal his ill-gotten loot and makes himself scarce. Circumstance conspires to deprive him of the opportunity to return. Now, is the brave treasure hunter who seeks and unearths the bounty guilty of robbery? Or is he just returning to the world what would otherwise lie forgotten and worthless? See, we're not after Clark's personal wealth. The money in question was meant to bankroll his etheric research. Since that's been outlawed, he can't touch it. And it's a drop in the ocean for the investors. They'll never miss it.
How many folks are you planning on bringing into this?
That depends on what we find. But I promise you, we'll all get a fair split, enough to make it all worthwhile.
What's your plan?
Clark had a lab nearby, a couple miles outside of town. Last place anybody saw him. We poke around there, retrace his steps, and it should lead us straight to the loot.
Uh-huh.
Now, call me crazy, but I get the impression you're not entirely convinced.
I'm not. And what if this is all a wild goose chase that gets us killed?
Truth be told, I'm not. How can you be sure Clark isn't just holed up in some cave with his cash? Or that someone didn't off him so they could claim it for themselves? We follow Clark, and whatever vanished him could end up vanishing us, too.
I admit we're asking you to put a lot of faith in us. Hell, I'd probably be just as incredulous were I in your position.
Mr. Ackerman's a good man, Miss Leger. He's never led me astray in all the time I've known him.
I appreciate it, Danny, but I think Miss Leger's gonna need a little more than just your word. Look, I've known quite a few moneyed folk in my time. They all got one thing in common. You know what that is?
They don't give a shit about people like us.
They couldn't give a rat's ass about folks like you and me.
I admit I cannot emphatically contradict you there, but not what I meant.
So what do they have in common?
They're good at keeping their money safe. Clark's cash is out there. I just know it. As far as your safety, you just took out a couple of brutes twice our size. It's plain to see you can take care of yourself.
I'm pretty good with my pistols, and Mr. Ackerman can talk his way out of anything. But we could use somebody who's good in a fight.
Besides, stick around old Jake long enough and you'll have enough material to write a whole book. Forget a measly little write-up in the local rag. I'm offering you a front row seat to a much better show. So, what do you say?
It'll make a good story.
All right, Mr. Ackerman. I'm in. At the very least, this venture should make for an interesting tale.
I'm pleased to hear you say that.
You won't regret this, Miss Leger.
We'll set out for the lab at daybreak. And please, call me Jake.
Dr. Clark's laboratory is a short hike from Rosewater. After getting run out of Lamplight City, this is where he went to ground. A secluded desert facility where he could get up to who knows what. Jake, Danny, and I head there at first light to see what secrets he left behind.
Quite a sight, ain't it?
I'll say. What the hell was Clark doing out here?
That's a question for minds greater than ours, Miss Leger.
Well, alrighty then. Oh, they're moving. Oh, okay. Well, alrighty, chat. I think that was a very good first look at Rosewater. We have some more games to get at, but this one we'll come back and we'll finish this one up. We will definitely finish this one up on stream. How did you all like it? I know I liked it.